Who was the coolest person in human history? Jeffrey Wang, Juan Pujol Garcia. He was a double agent in World War II, feeding false information to the Nazis, and eventually gaining high honors from both the Nazis and the Allies. Garcia originally served in the Spanish Civil War. He fought on both the fascist and communist sides, leaving the experience with a disdain for both fascism and communism. During World War II, he wanted to help the Allied cause, so he tried becoming a British spy multiple times and was turned down each time. Frustrated, he decided to become a German spy first, and eventually try to become a double agent. He created another identity as a pro-Nazi government official, and out of British maps, cinema reels, and other items, he created spy reports while residing in Lisbon, Portugal. Eventually, he conjured a whole network of spy agent, and his work seemed so real some of his imaginary dealings hit very close to the real thing that the British went for a spy hunt, looking for his fictitious people. Garcia was eventually able to become a double agent when he misled the German Navy into chasing down a non-existent fleet of ships, alerting the British that someone was feeding false information. By his code name, Garbo, Garcia fed a mixture of complete fiction, genuine information of little military value, and valuable military intelligence artificially delayed in order to deceive his German superiors. For instance, in the British campaign for North Africa, Garcia gave genuine exact troop landings and movement areas, except he timed the letter to be 1 day late. He supposedly received a reply, "We are sorry they arrived too late, but your last reports were magnificent." Garcia did more. The Germans sent him some of their most up-to-date ciphers, so he could transmit information safely, which he promptly turned over to the British to help in code-breaking efforts. His true claim to fame was his undeniably key role in D-Day. He passed on a ton of key information that made its way to Berlin and Hitler. Instead of Normandy, Garcia told the Berlin High Command that the invasion was 200 miles north at Calais. Across the strait, the British set up an army of inflatable tanks, wooden planes, and fake factories to make the ploy look believable. When the actual invasion took place, for a few days, the Germans refused to believe that this was anything but a diversion. When Hitler was finally convinced to move some of Germany's best, battle-hardened tank units to counter the Allied invasion and possibly kill tens of thousands of men, this came in. I am of the opinion, in view of the strong troop concentrations in southeastern and eastern England, which are not taking part in the present operations, that these operations are a diversionary maneuver designed to draw off enemy reserves in order then to make a decisive attack in another place. It may very probably take place in the Pas-de-Calais area. The tanks stayed, and thousands of lives were saved. By the time it seemed certain the Allies would win, the Nazis still hadn't found out about what Garcia had done, and they told him to stop only after he and his imaginary network of spies had taken nearly $1 million of funding, of today's currency, from them. Garcia's German superiors never found out about his deceit. In fact, he was awarded a Nazi Iron Cross for his service, as well as a membership to the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, the only person to have been honored by both sides in the war. 47K views. View 2089 upvotes.